Hello, welcome to the third episode of the Under the Hat podcast. My name is Michael, and today we're going to be talking about a very interesting and very particular subject, which is what makes bad food bad. And I know what you're thinking. Well, I know what makes bad food bad. I mean, when I eat it, it doesn't taste very good. But let's get into the deeper elements of that. So first off, let's start with the idea of what makes a thing bad? I would say that a bad chair is one that I cannot sit on. Maybe it's made of nails or screws, or it doesn't have any legs, or it doesn't have a back, or it's unbalanced. It's a bad chair. The object itself is not up to standard. That goes into what actually the thing is made for. Something that's made to be sat on, that you can't sit on, is not a good example of that thing. And likewise, it's the same with food. Something that is made to be eaten, but can't be eaten, is not good food. Which, when you think about it, makes a whole lot of sense. That's a pretty particular, pretty boring definition. But let's start with, well, if you don't like cream cheese, is cream cheese itself a bad food? Well, now you're getting into the particulars of the thing. So to start, let's talk about things that are technically edible, but that you shouldn't eat. Lava, for example. You could totally take like a glob of lava and just put it on your tongue, swish it around a little bit, and eat it. The only thing is, your tongue would melt, your mouth would be fused together, and you would die. But, technically, you can do it. Just once. Does that make lava food? No. Food has to be something digestible, something processable, something we, I dare say, enjoy. Grass. You can eat grass. You won't die from it. It won't taste very good. You can eat it, but your body can't digest it. And it doesn't taste very good. So it's a bad food. But a good food, like a steak, well, I like steak. And steak is something that you can process not only well, but dare I say, very, very well. Because, if you think about it, what makes good food is something that you can enjoy wholeheartedly. Something that you can process and share with others. Great food is made to be shared with others and enjoyed and processed and have some nutritional value. So, I decided that it would be fun to go around my dear college campus and ask folks what they think is bad food, so we can figure out exactly what makes us like the good food.
All right.
Hello there.
How are you?
I'm great. How are you?
Good.
Here's my question. I do like food. Yes.
Good.
Here's my question to you. What makes bad food bad?
Yourself. It's not the actual food. It's the person.
Really?
Unless it's spoiled. That's
Okay.
the exception.
Is all food made to be enjoyed?
Good food is made to be enjoyed. Is all food made to be enjoyed? No. I think that the primary part of food that makes it actual food is the nutrition. So whether or not it's enjoyed is a secondary quality.
This is very consistent with our previous exploration into what makes food good. So my question to you now is, what is the worst piece of food you've ever had?
I'm really not that picky, but I'd say American cheese. I just can't stand it. So it's not like I've had spoiled food or anything super bland, but it's really just anytime I have American cheese.
American cheese. That was the worst food you've ever had?
Yes.
Wow.
Very easy.
Good
Every
answer.
time I have it.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Have a good day.
460.
Hello.
Hello.
My question to you is this. What is the
Hello.
worst piece of food you've ever eaten?
Passion fruit.
Really?
Passion fruit is just the worst food. I ate it. I guess, like, it is so, like, tangy and, like, so, like, unique that some may love it. But personally, I just thought, like, no wonder there isn't passion fruit where I live, because it sucks.
Wow. And you? Worst piece of food you've ever eaten?
All right, so there's a little story to this one.
Please.
Okay, so we had this one friend, my older brother. We were younger. We had this one friend that used to come over, and he had this issue where he'd like poop his pants, and like little niblets would come out of his diaper or something, or it's just shorts, and like my mom would have to clean up. And I always hated chocolate, so I thought I picked up one of his niblets, and I happened to lick it, thinking it was chocolate. and that's how I started hating chocolate.
Oh my goodness. Do you still hate chocolate?
I do still hate chocolate.
Wow.
Yeah.
What's your name? You don't have to give it.
That's confidential.
That's confidential. Thank you very much. That's a damn good story. Hello.
Hi.
Hi. What is the worst piece of food you've ever eaten? Or if you have a story. I heard an amazing story not 20 seconds ago.
Oh gosh. I would have to think about that. Well, maybe not the worst, but the food that is classically thought of as disgusting, and I was very proud of it. How about that? I had snails. I don't know if what classifies
escargot.
Well, I don't know if escargot is like a specific preparation of a snail or not, but yeah, I was in Malta with my family when I was 8, and it was like snails, and you'd have to pick them out of the shell with a toothpick, and they'd come out and then form back into their little squiggly. You put them on a cracker and put this delicious sauce on them and eat them. So it was actually really good because the sauce was amazing. But yeah, that's my snail story.
Wow, that's exceptional. Thank you. Hi there. Hello. What's the worst piece of food you've ever eaten?
One time. Pig intestine.
Do you mean intestine?
Yes.
Tell me about that.
Tasted slimy.
So it's the texture that made it bad?
Yeah.
Okay. Where'd you have pig intestine?
In a Filipino restaurant.
Wow. Did it change your life?
Yeah, I'm never gonna eat it again.
How about you? Worst piece of food you've ever eaten?
Fried quail egg.
Really? Where'd you have that?
At a night market in Taiwan.
Did it change your life?
Definitely not trying it again.
Okay, fair enough. Anyone else? Worst piece of food you've ever eaten?
The worst piece of food I've ever eaten? I mean, it's not the worst, but it's definitely the thing I like the least because I like all food. But chicken feet, it's really hard to enjoy.
Where'd you have chicken feet?
In the Philippines. It's they skewer it and they make it they try and make it as delectable as possible, but you can't get over the fact that it's chicken feet. It's hard to eat too.
Yeah, I can imagine. Well, thank you very much. Hello, sir.
Hello, how are you?
I'm very good.
Yeah.
My question to you is this. What's the worst piece of food you've ever had?
It was an Armenian cow tongue dish. It was
A what?
soup. It was like a soup, and it just had cow tongue, and it was disgusting.
What made it so bad?
It was mostly the texture. I'm not that big of a texture person, but that was just me.
You're not a big fan of eating tongue?
No, not particularly, and I didn't know until halfway through the bowl, and didn't help, so.
Wow. Good answer. Okay, Thank you very much.
Yes, of course.
Hello there.
Hi.
What is the worst piece of food you've ever eaten?
I'd have to say some of my father's eclectic slop that he likes making in the morning after soaking it overnight.
What composes this slop?
It's like cereal. So he puts granola, peanut butter, no, I guess milk, applesauce.
What?
Cheerios, cornflakes, and just about any other dry cereal you can find.
That's psychotic.
And then, it soaks for about half an hour because his teeth aren't as strong as they once were. So then he has to, then that helps him, get it down.
Wow, that's horrifying. Thank you very much. Hi there. Hello.
Hello.
How are you?
Good, how are you?
I'm wonderful. What's the worst piece of food you've ever eaten in your life?
Extremely uncooked salmon.
Okay, where'd you have extremely uncooked salmon?
Restaurant in North Carolina.
Do you know the name?
Shipwrecked?
Shipwrecks.
Yeah, never go there.
Never go there.
All the food was uncooked. We all threw up afterward.
Oh, so they gave you food poisoning.
Yeah.
Can you describe the texture of the uncooked salmon?
So slippery.
Are you aware of what sushi is?
Yeah, but it was not supposed to be like that.
It's not sushi grade. Okay. Well, consider trying sushi. You may find it a bit more appealing. All right. Thank you very much. Hello there. Hi. How are you?
Good, how are you?
I'm fantastic.
Great.
What's the worst piece of food you've ever eaten?
Well, I absolutely despise bananas, so I'm going to have to go with that.
Really?
Yeah.
Why so? Is it the texture?
It is the texture, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I gag when I am in their presence.
Bananas make you gag.
They do.
Wow.
They're
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Hello there.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi.
What is the worst piece of food you've ever eaten?
I don't know, probably Priz eggs.
Priz eggs. What makes them so bad?
They're just nasty and they're powdered eggs and watery and just
yucky.
All
right. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Okay. So, we had some pretty good answers there. The story about the guy not liking chocolate because he eats poop is pretty interesting. So we've heard a couple of different definitions of what makes food bad. For some people, it's the texture. The pig intestines, the chicken feet, they couldn't deal with the texture. The Albanian tongue dish, same thing. So what the first guy I interviewed said, he said something pretty interesting, is you make food bad. You do. And I think he's kind of right there. That there is a very subjective quality to what makes food good or bad. But then again, that also comes into play with art. Now, what I want to know is, are there fundamental principles of food that make it consistently good over time? Or make it consistently bad over time? Lobster, in fact, was actually a poor man's dish. You know, they served it, I'm not kidding, they served lobster to the inmates in Alcatraz. Alcatraz, the prison. So if lobster was a prison dish, why is it $40 when I buy it from a restaurant? Well, tastes have changed. Scarcity influences that, of course. But when some people begin to realize that they're starting to like a certain food, the prices slowly rise. So subjectivity has a lot to do with our appreciation of food. I know I'm going to get a lot of flack for this. I'm just not a big cream cheese guy. I just don't like it very much. And I know there's nothing rational behind that. I know there's nothing like truly foundationally wrong with cream cheese. It literally just comes down to subjective taste. And there was the one guy who mentioned that he doesn't like eating chocolate because he ate a little piece of poo when he was very little and it reminded him of chocolate and he thought it was chocolate. And that was such a strong emotional pull away from chocolate that he just can't eat it anymore. I mean, that's pretty fascinating, right? I find that fascinating, at least. Because I think it works the opposite way, too. If he could have, at an early age, such a strong, visceral reaction to a food that makes him hate it so much he doesn't eat it even into his late teenage years, then I think we can have a moment where something that isn't very good has such an emotional reaction, evokes such an emotional reaction, that we love it anyway. Coca-Cola. My mom loves Coca-Cola. When I have Coca-Cola, I think of her. And I think of her and me going on a car ride. She said, well, let's pull over. Let's get some Coke. Okay, let's get some Coke for the car ride. My mother does not do drugs, but she does like drinking Coca-Cola. And we'd always get that on those long car rides. And every time I drink of it, and I think of those warm summer days when that was the most refreshing thing we had, it was nice. I liked it. I mean, Coke is just objectively good. You know, it's objectively enjoyable. But it has a certain emotional pull for me. I'm more inclined to drink it because I have an emotional connection with it. So, what makes food bad appears to be a combination of factors. The first is it edible? All right, if it's not edible, bad food. The second, does it taste good? More subjective. There are certain objective principles behind it, but you never know. People like weird things. And the third is, what was the intent behind the food you ate? You know, it sort of does affect it. Because if someone throws a piece of American cheese at you and says, go ahead, eat this, you know, in a way where they're meant to be disrespecting you or admonishing you, you're not going to be super inclined towards American cheese. That's just a fact. But if you have a grandparent who, although in their aging years, manages to get out of bed with arthritis and dementia and go downstairs and make you, on their meager pension, a batch of cookies. I don't care who you are. I don't care what your tastes are. I don't care if you're Gordon Ramsay. I don't care if the cookies taste quote-unquote bad. You're going to love them. Because you love that they were made with love. Out of sacrifice. Our perception of it really does change it. Almost substantially. Like, a piece of art made by someone that you don't like, you're not going to like very much. Even if it's very good. A piece of food that might not be very good, made by someone that you love, you're going to be drawn to. So again, we're coming to this principle that I want to hone in on here. And that principle is the simple fact that there's something deeper there. there's a reality about the way the world works that isn't quite so simple as food is bad when it's bad and food is good when it's good. It would appear that the emotions that we draw to the food seriously affect whether or not we like it. Which makes me think that the best food is the food that's made with love. But, we have to prove that. So, thank you for listening. I hope you're having a good day. And if I don't see you, good afternoon, good evening, and good night.